marker.
On the set of the psychological thriller Hideaway, Hatch Harrison lies lifeless on an operating table.
Sometimes we just have to let God do what he will.
Not this time. Let's bring him back. Give me some prep.
For director Brett Leonard, reviving the character, played by Jeff Goldblum, is the easy part. The challenge lies in visualizing Hatch's near-death experience.
We're utilizing some of the new photorealistic computer graphic technology to do what we're calling photo-surrealism, meaning we're creating these journeys beyond death to places that are very ethereal and abstract.
In his earlier film, Lawnmower Man, Leonard created alternative worlds using computer-generated imagery. For Hideaway, Leonard is adding a new dimension, performance animation.
Play to the ceiling, play to the camera, play around.
It's a technological breakthrough that allows filmmakers to capture human movement and apply it directly to characters created in a computer.
Subtlety of emotion can only be done with performance animation. I mean, it would take animators months and months to get those nuances in there, and a performance animator can go on and get it in a few minutes.
At Sony ImageWorks in Los Angeles, Academy Award-winning visual effects supervisor Tim McGovern is using performance animation to create one of the movie's key visual effects sequences, a journey into the depths of hell. The central image is an evil entity made up of countless tortured souls, which McGovern and his co-workers have nicknamed Clyde. To give movement to the hundreds of computer-generated souls trapped in Clyde's grip, Leonard and McGovern turned to performance animation and to the talents of the film's effects producer, Camille Cellucci.
I have a movement background, which is why I'm ending up in the suit. I did mime for a few years with Marcel Marceau, and
We're lined up. Paul, let's rev her up.
Like a puppeteer pulling the strings of a marionette, Cellucci's every move manipulates the computer-generated figure, which at this stage is a simple wireframe version before final rendering.
We've used a more simplified character on the computer now. It's not as complex as what you'll see on the screen. It has broken joints instead of continuous, smooth, flexible joints. All those things will be way better in the actual production.
Known as a motion capture system, the technology employs a magnetic transmitter that emits electronic signals much like radar. Sensors on the performer's body receive the signals and relay them through wires to computer hardware. It is this hardware that maps the position of the sensors by tracking their location within the transmission field. Computer software then translates the performer's movements to the animated figure.
And action.
20.
Like a director from Hollywood's silent era, McGovern talks Cellucci through her performance.
Up, more up, more up. Try to push up.
Her movements are recorded by the computer.
3, 2.
Ready to come up the screen? By being able to direct and see the output, right on the screen there, it's the most direct translation from a director's mind, into the character. This is a good one. This is a good take. Action.
After several takes are recorded, the motion capture data are turned over to Sony ImageWorks animators. They will add detail to the wireframe figure and render shading and lighting effects to the overall image. The animated figure is then replicated 250 times and added to the outer shell of the computer-generated Clyde. By offsetting the motions and timings of each figure by fractions of a second, no two figures appear alike.
Clyde is made up of a lot of different layers that have to be computed separately. It's quite a complex image, so you have to control very carefully which parts are visible to the viewer and how they can understand this whole entire creature. So there's quite a few things. It isn't just one big compute that we spit out a frame at the other end.
The effects crew travels to Vancouver, British Columbia, where an abandoned copper mine is the location for the movie's climactic battle between Goldblum's character and Clyde. Here, McGovern and his effects team assist Brett Leonard in shooting the live-action portion of the scene called plates. This footage will later be combined with the computer-generated animation. To assure that the plates line up accurately with the animation, the effects team has added a series of reference points to the set.
We came up with a system of being able to very precisely measure the red lights that looked like part of the production design, so that we could create a digital match for that in the computer, so that at least if we didn't know where the camera was, we knew where the lights were.
The head will be 18 feet from that wall.
The pressure is on McGovern to set up the scene quickly. These shots require most of the movie's cast and crew, costing the production nearly $100,000 a day. With an electronic tape measure, McGovern makes sure the angle and spatial relationship of each shot will line up once this live footage is combined with the computer images.
Right, see what I'm saying? Right. At the end of the shot.
At last, the shot is ready and the cameras roll.
The only mark.
Action!
With the plate shots filmed, the Sony team members return to their computer workstations in Los Angeles. Here, they combine all the separate elements that make up the final images that appear in the movie. What began as a vision in director Brett Leonard's mind has developed into a very real cinematic experience.
Let's go back to one, try that again.
Months of work by the Sony ImageWorks team end up racing across the screen in minutes as Hideaway's climactic battle between good and evil unfolds. Coming up, performance animation is changing the look of television in some very peculiar ways.
Howdy, stranger! Where are my slacks?
The roots of performance animation began long before the introduction of the microchip. In 1878, photographer Edward Muybridge photographed horses running past a battery of still cameras. The horses' movements were captured in a series of still frames. These early experiments in motion capture inspired Thomas Edison to develop the kinetoscope 10 years later in 1888. Edison's invention captured life on a strip of film that, when played back on a projector, created the illusion of motion. This first true breakthrough in motion capture became known as the movies. Beginning in the 1930s, traditional cell animators often modeled their cartoon characters' movements on film of live performers. This technique is still used today. To create a dancing fairy for the Page Master, first a ballerina from the Joffrey Ballet was filmed in front of a grid. Animators then traced over each frame of the film, rendering these simple pencil tests, which could later be fully animated. The first big breakthrough in modern performance animation came not from Hollywood, but from NASA scientists. They developed data gloves and other remote manipulators for use in outer space and undersea exploration, demonstrating the possibilities of real-time animation. NASA named these devices Waldos, after science fiction author Robert Heinlein's futuristic hero, who invents a world of remote-controlled machines. At the Character Shop in Los Angeles, inventor and master puppeteer Rick Lazzarini has applied Waldo technology to the art of special effects. Lazzarini has worked on such films as Hook and Hocus Pocus, and TV commercials featuring talking chickens, and any number of alien life forms.
I was working on a commercial for a salad dressing, and we had to have a vegetable head man. We decided to go ahead and start building something that would operate off of your face. I had heard about the data glove and how you could put your hand into a glove and it would mimic on a computer screen what your hand was doing.
In order to have the vegetable head puppet mimic his facial movements, Lazzarini designed a headgear he called Waldo. The Waldo incorporates small electrical controllers called potentiometers, which translate each degree of movement to servo motors that operate the puppet.
With the facial Waldo, it's much more analogous to what you're doing. You raise your brows, and there that is. You have to be very expressive. I find I really have to exaggerate to go beyond what's lost in the translation. People with real rubbery faces are going to find themselves with a whole new world of opportunities here in digital puppetry.
Steve Glenn, president of the 3D graphics company Sim Graphics, saw the potential of Lazzarini's Waldo device for creating real-time animation of computer-generated characters. Glenn adapted the Waldo and came up with a new performance animation technique called the Vactor, short for virtual actor.
More and more the people who do computer animation are looking for tools that allow them to get more natural movement, quicker animation, cheaper animation, and tools like what we offer help animators do that.
By wearing a facial Waldo, a performer can animate in real time a computer-generated character.
Well, I'm a Vactor, really. A virtual actor. Yes, there's many of us.
Such characters are going beyond TV and movie screens and are appearing at trade shows and other public events. Since the technology allows for real-time animation, the Vactor can interact with the audience. At Colossal Pictures in San Francisco, a performance-animated character named Moxie has been created for the Cartoon Network.
I mean, Bug. Ow! I feel funky. Breakdown. Shake it.
Like the Sim Graphics characters, Moxie's movements mimic a live performer wired to a computer.
Is this thing on? Is it on?
So my motivation is I've been blown up.
You've been blown up.
Okay, this is 17, take 6.
Moxie's voice is provided by comedian Bobcat Goldthwait.
Hello, world, and welcome to Art with Moxie. This could be the dynamite that Huckleberry Hound pulled out of his cigar.
There's a guy behind me making fun of me or something. This is really creeping me out.
What may seem strange to Goldthwait makes perfect sense to program makers who appreciate the cost reduction brought about by performance animation.
Oh, now I get it. Okay, what about...
In 1 or 2 hours, a performer can animate a sequence that would take traditional cell animators weeks to accomplish. It's arithmetic even Moxie can understand.
Moxie! I'm waiting.
Pleasure's all mine.
Give me something dramatic.
Alas, poor Yogi. I know him well.
Coming up, we'll meet the wisecracking star of Weldon Pond and discover the stuff that a computer-generated sheep is made of.
Jennifer, oh, here, smell this.
No, thank you.
A pioneering personality in performance animation is a television character more suited for a barn than a TV studio.
Hey, Jennifer, come here. Smell this.
No, thank you.
To create a talking cartoon sheep for the comedy pilot Weldon Pond, the producers turned to the creative team at Windlight Studios in Minneapolis.
The turnaround had to be very, very quick, to the point of turning around episodes in 3 weeks. It was impossible to even consider doing cell work with those kinds of schedules.
Windlight's answer was performance animation.
Nobody panic.
Whoa, scary. The name's Pond. Weldon Pond.
Early tests were made with drummer Kirk Johnson volunteering his talents in a motion capture session that quickly answered the question, can a sheep dance? Once the concept of the show was sold, a new challenge arose. Where to find a talent that could act like a sheep yet have the confidence and energy of a wolf. Actor and mime artist Misha Sisti has been a dinosaur and a Ninja Turtle. His role in Weldon Pond, however, involved some unique challenges.
Having been a turtle and a dinosaur and things like that, you have your own set of problems. This character was special in that you not only had the problems that involved acting and mime and mask technique, but you also had this 8-foot tether attached to your rear end, so you couldn't go anywhere.
Misha's tether carries data back to the computers that record the information using a program developed by Windlight and Alias software. Like other performance animation systems, the Windlight system employs body sensors to measure signals from a magnetic transmitter.
The system's really designed to interact well in that type of production setting. If I want to do a record, all I have to do is hit one button. Once we've got an actor's measurements, the calibration process is usually pretty quick. So we can adjust basically some things like the posture, and I can make adjustments. You know, the arm's too high or too low, I can go in and play with that. Put a little more bend in his elbow if I want to, etc.
I'm telling you, sheep hate grass. The only reason we eat it is we're hoping one day there won't be any left and we can move on to something else.
The true test of reliability will come on the Weldon Pond set. For the show to succeed as a weekly series, it is essential that the motion capture technology cause no delays. The first step is to rehearse the scene, so that Misha and the other actors know their relative positions and sight lines. The foam suit Misha wears helps the cast visualize the character's dimensions. This rehearsal is especially important because Misha will not be in the shot with the actors when the scenes are filmed. An empty space is needed where the final animated version of Weldon will appear. After the live-action cameras photograph the human characters, Misha records his scenes for the motion capture computers. His finished takes are then transferred to Windlight's computers for completion. Several more weeks are then required to sync the character's mouth to the dialogue and to add enhanced body animation such as the movements of Weldon's tail, ears, and eyes. By comparison, traditional cell animation would take many months longer, making the completion of a weekly show such as Weldon Pond much more difficult.
What you're worried about?
No, you didn't, because you're too fat to get back up on your hind legs.
In doing cell animation, you're having to act everything out yourself. You have to spend years, actually, learning how, when you move, that you can get that as an image in front of your eyes so you can actually draw it. So when you all of a sudden have an actor doing all these things for you, it's a wonderful thing because now you can actually see this stuff and know whether it's working right or not.
Bob Bennings.
Weldon Pond comes together at last when the computer-generated footage is combined with the live action.
My liege, the creator of life.
In this scene, Weldon pays homage to his creator, played by Elliot Gould.
You read that break like a master.
You blew it into the hole.
No, I didn't. I was just running alongside it, cheering.
Someday, entire movies and TV shows may utilize performance animation, with filmmakers directing a cast that exists only in a computer. But there will always be an important role for human performers. Performance animation has come a long way since early cartoonists hand-traced a performer's movement onto individual cells. The digital age has ushered in a new generation of performance possibilities, with films such as Hideaway, and TV characters like Moxie and Weldon Pond.
Hey, people!
Fantastic characters brought to life through cutting-edge technology and the vision of acrobatic artisans who perform their own special movie magic.
I think when I press this button...
Coming up next on the Discovery Channel, new technology enhances the human eye on the No Zone. Then witness the brutal challenge of building the Alaska Highway on Rediscovering America. Explore your world.